couldn't feel such loss. La ilaha, la ilaha, la ilaha.
In the name of Allah, the All-Merciful, the Ever-Merciful. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, and blessings and peace be upon Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. Welcome to a new episode of your program, Clearing the Mist. In your previous episode, we dealt with some financial terms, and we are going to continue with other financial terms in this episode. As a reminder, let me remind you, dear brothers and sisters, dear viewers of our program, all the terms we dealt with, and just to give you an idea about the other terms we will cover in this episode by the will of Allah. We covered Hajr, Sharika, Mudaraba, and Muzara'a in the previous episode, and in this episode we are going to cover some other financial terms which are related to finance, as is clear from the title. Some of them actually have something to do with what we call al-bay'a, or sale, which we covered in two previous episodes. But of course, al-bay'a involves some sort of a financial transaction, exactly which makes it part of our subject matter for this episode. The first one of these terms is what we call salam or as-salam. Salam or as-salam. What is as-salam? As-salam is a contract involving an immediate payment of the price and admitting a delay in the delivery of the articles purchased. Then you go and buy something and you immediately pay for it. You pay the price in full, but you don't get possession, immediate possession of the article or the thing you bought, but you will do this in a later time. Deferred, delay in the delivery. This is what we call as-salam. You pay the money, but you get the thing you bought or the article you bought at a later time. Is this allowed in Islam? Yes, it is. It is one form of bay'a, and of course it involves a financial transaction. Let's go to the screen and see our second term for today, which is rahn or ar-rahn. Rahn or ar-rahn. What's meant by rahn or ar-rahn? A legal term which signifies the detention of a thing on account of a claim which may be answered by means of that thing. Then, if you need to borrow some money from someone, for example, and then you have a certain valuable thing which is as expensive as the money you are going to get as a loan, or even more expensive than the money you are going to get as a loan, or approximately the same, then you may give it to the person you are going to borrow the money from, just as a guarantee for this person that he is going to get his money back at the time you agreed on. Then once again, it's as a legal term, as a legal Islamic term, it signifies the detention, the keeping of a thing, an article, a utility, on account of a claim which may be answered by means of that thing. I promise to repay the money I borrowed from you, and as a guarantee, take my car for a while till I repay the money I owe you, and once I do this I get my car back. If not, then of course we have certain rules or rulings concerning this, but of course the person who lent the money has a guarantee if he doesn't get his money back. Once he gets his money back at the time agreed upon, he has to immediately return the item or the thing that was in rahn to its original possessor or owner. Another word for rahn is rihan or ar-rihan, and ar-rihan, a familiar word to many of our dear viewers, would be mortgage. Mortgage is also known and practiced in some societies outside the Muslim world. Then we can say rahn or rihan. Rahn refers to the process itself or to the practice itself, and rihan refers to the mortgage, or just to reach an approximation of the meaning of the term. Let's use the word mortgage. How about our next item? Our next item is ar-riba. Riba for convenience, or ar-riba, originally written with alif lam. The lam becomes ara. Before certain consonants, the la of the definite article becomes the same or identical with the first consonant in the word after the definite article, and in some cases it doesn't. All right, in this case it does. Then riba, if you add al to it, it becomes al-riba. I'm sorry, ar-riba. The la becomes a ra, although it is written with a lam. Lexically, the dictionary meaning, the original meaning of the word riba is increase, from the verb yarbu. Yarbu means to increase, to become more. And as a term, it means increase on loans. Then it has a general meaning of increase, the general meaning of increase, but as an Islamic term or a fiqhi term in jurisprudence, in Islamic jurisprudence or in Islamic fiqh, it means increase, particularly on loans. Another word for it is interest. Then if you lend someone money and you get interest, you get your money back after some time with increase. This is what you call riba, which is of course prohibited in Islam. It can also be defined as surplus value without anything in return. The person who lent someone money and then got his money in addition to interest, who got surplus value, is actually getting more for nothing. You may say, but he lent the person money and he waited to get his money back and so on and so forth. Still, this is not prohibited. This is not allowed in Islam. It is prohibited in Islam because we have what we call al-qardul hasan. Qard is loan and hasan is good. And a good loan means that you lend your brother or sister money and you get the same amount of money without any interest, to avoid being engaged in riba, which is prohibited in Islam. Is riba of one type? The answer is no. We have two major types of riba. One of them is called riba al-fadl, and the other one is called riba al-nasi'a. Riba al-fadl and riba al-nasi'a. And now, brothers and sisters, we are going to examine what each one of these terms mean, or these types or kinds of riba or usury. Riba can also be translated into usury or usurious, the adjective from usury, as all of you already know, usurious gain or usurious interest, getting surplus money for nothing. Riba al-fadl is taking a superior thing of the same kind by giving more of the same thing of inferior quality. Then, if you exchange dates for dates, or gold for gold, or silver for silver, then this is what we call riba al-fadl: gold, silver, wheat, grain, dates, and barley. If you do this, if you exchange the same kind, a better quality with a lower quality in a greater amount, of course, this is considered form of riba, which is prohibited in Islam. What is the other type of riba? It is riba al-nasi'a, and by riba al-nasi'a, to take interest on the lent money. The example I have just given you is called riba al-nasi'a. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exalted be He, Allah exalted be He and glorified be He, tells us, or we have this verse in the glorious Quran: يَمْحَقُ اللَّهُ الرِّبَا وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ كَفَّارٍ أَثِيمٍ. البقرة الآية 276. Allah will destroy riba or usury, and will give increase for sadaqat or deeds of charity, alms, etc. And Allah likes not the disbelievers or sinners. The disbelievers, sinners. Actually, in the Arabic verse, kaffarin athim, disbelievers, sinners, and this is chapter 2, verse 276. Dear viewers, brothers and sisters, this brings us to the end of our second episode on or about financial terms, and I hope I have managed to clarify some of these terms for you. Until we meet again in another episode, I leave you in the care of Allah, fi amanillahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, and until we meet again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Merciful are you, King of all the kings, have ownership to all of each and everything. Indeed, I am your slave, created from the dust, a traveler in this world. I shouldn't feel such loss.